Today we're going to cover a few very basic techniques for throwing tomahawks and knives. Safety is a very important issue. I'm just going to cover it lightly here. Throwing tomahawks is, and knives is a dangerous thing. You want to make sure that there's nobody in front of you, nothing behind the block that you can damage. You want to make sure that there's nobody directly behind you in case the knife or tomahawk slips out of your hand. Throw your tomahawk safely. You only need a few pieces of equipment to throw tomahawks and knives. You obviously need your tomahawks and your knives. If you're throwing tomahawks, you're going to need extra handles because I guarantee you'll break a few. You want to have some spares so that you can put your new handle in and keep throwing. You're going to need a good block to throw into, something that's a decent size. You need a block that has an end grain block. You can't throw into a tree that's standing. They just don't accept a tomahawk. You want an end block. You want it of a wood that's soft enough to accept the tomahawk and knife. Willow or cottonwood is an excellent block material. Something like oak is just too hard. It'll just bounce right back out. So before we start throwing, let's cover a little bit of the simple mechanics of what's going on when you're throwing a tomahawk. So the key to throwing a tomahawk is finding just the right distance to stand away from the block so that when we throw it, it spins one rotation and hits that block. So what we're trying to achieve here is to get the face to fully embed into the block of wood here. We want the handle to be parallel to the face of it. If we over rotate, we're too far back, then just the top tip is going to stick in the block. If we're too close to the block and it under rotates, the handle's going to hit first and it won't stick at all, or maybe just this little tip, but it'll knock the handle out. So here's a couple more little tips. If you're consistently throwing and just the tip is sticking, that means you're over rotating a little bit. You can slow that tomahawk down by putting your thumb up. If you throw like that and you want to slow it down, you can put your thumb up. That'll slow it down a little bit and maybe that'll help you. Also, if you really need to be consistent in how hard you throw it. Somebody who throws really hard, that slows down the rotation, so they have to back up. So make sure to have a consistent and easy throw. So you're generally going to want to start about 6 paces from the block. You can adjust back and forth from that to find that one rotation that's good for you. Mark that spot, and then it's just a matter of practice and learning to throw consistently. Throwing knives is a little bit more challenging than tomahawks. They're shorter, so they spin faster, but the mechanics are exactly the same. You're going to want to throw it, get one rotation into the block. You're probably going to be maybe 4 paces instead of 6. Works the same though. We've got a large selection of throwing knives and tomahawks on our website or in our print catalog. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook.